Let's talk about AR-15 maintenance, specifically the bolt and carrier. So a good AR-15 has sufficient gas and sufficient mass to operate reliably. Gas is usually the first thing I look at when an AR isn't running. Now on this bolt carrier, I've got the bolt pulled out and I've got it standing on its own weight of the carrier. If it stands and supports itself, the gas rings specifically are probably fine. That's probably not a problem. But nobody ever talks about how to replace those gas rings. So when we take the bolt apart, and I've already got it halfway disassembled, you can see that there are 3 gas rings on here. There are some people that say, oh, when you put that back together, you cannot have those gas rings all in a line because gas will leak and you won't have good functioning. I'm pretty sure the gas rings move around by themselves. These are the gas rings here. There's 2 of them sitting right here. You can see they're just little stamped rings with a split in the middle. They're just like piston rings on a piston. On this gun, if I test fire it and it locks back with 1 round in it, I fire it, it locks back, everything's probably fine. So I'm going to fire a shot. The bolt locks open. So let's look at the carrier in this gun. I'll pull the pin out, we'll open it up, take the bolt and carrier out. So to test this bolt carrier, I'll stand it on its end. And it is standing up. But it doesn't take much weight to push it down. So let's see what's wrong inside of here. A quick look inside will give me an idea if there's a problem. Retaining pin, firing pin, cam pin. So when I open this bolt up, I can see that it only has 1 gas ring. Oh no, this gun shouldn't work. This gun should not work. So to put gas rings on, we simply hold the bolt, get one end of the ring started, and then just work our fingers around it. And I'm not worried about where they're spaced, but I definitely don't want them to be crossed. So I try to get the rings in a position where I can slip them on. Now this bolt is completed. It has 3 rings inside of it. When I put the cam pin back in, the firing pin back in, the retaining pin back in, make sure that I have the firing pin captured, the bolt pulled out to full extension, charging handle out a little ways, slip it back in the gun. This gun's ready to go. But how did I get those gas rings off? I like to use a dental pick, a pair of reading glasses, generally. And what I do is I just pick up on that edge of that ring, and then I can roll them off. So find the space, get it pulled over on the edge like that, and then I just roll them off. But when your bolt carrier is happy, the gun will actually run completely. One more shot. Definitely a lot more gas going into that system, but it still ran with 1 ring, which also means if these rings weren't staggered, that gap wouldn't mean anything. If you want to be fanatic about it, you can maintain your gun by replacing those gas rings about every 3,000 rounds. So you want to do it every 3,000 rounds, or just give it the test, stand it up on its face. If it's supporting it, it's working. If you want it to work every time, you'll change them regularly.
To see all of Gun Talk's content, go to guntalk.com, guntalktv.com, or sign up for the Gun Talk newsletter.